Which Marvel movies you need to watch before Spider-Man: Far From Home? Which movies should you rewatch ahead of Spider-Man: Far From Home? Tom Holland's Spider-Man returns to the big screen on July 2nd, and this time the wall crawler is going global. Peter Parker and his school friends are taking a summer vacation across Europe, but naturally, it doesn't take long for trouble to find the young superhero. Spider-Man is one of the most successful superhero franchises in Hollywood history, and this is the 7th Spider-Man movie since 2002. Fortunately, if you're wanting to carry out a catch-up ahead of Spider-Man: Far From Home, you won't really need to check out Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy or Marc Webb's The Amazing Spider-Man duology. Holland's is a fresh incarnation of Spider-Man, rebooted as part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe in an unprecedented deal between Marvel Studios and Sony Pictures. Time permitting, you may still want to rewatch those for sheer pleasure, but if you can't, then don't worry about it. Your focus needs to be upon the MCU. Holland's Spider-Man is younger than any other big-screen version, which means he grew up in a world of superheroes. He idolized Tony Stark, the ultimate celebrity superhero who'd outed himself on a world stage, and fittingly it was Stark himself who tracked Spider-Man down and brought him into the Avengers' orbit in Captain America: Civil War. Stark became a surrogate father figure for the wall crawler, and as a result Spider-Man: Far From Home will be heavily impacted by Stark's death in Avengers: Endgame. It's that arc that decides which films you really need to be familiar with in order to make sense of Spider-Man: Far From Home. Captain America: Civil War. Marvel Studios introduced this version of Spider-Man in Captain America: Civil War, when Tony Stark dropped in unannounced on the young Peter Parker in order to recruit him for the upcoming superhero slugfest in Germany. This film is important for establishing the basic ideas that underpin the MCU's incarnation of Spider-Man: his youth, his fanboy zeal, and his relationship with his Aunt May. Spider-Man: Homecoming. Spider-Man: Far From Home is a sequel to Spider-Man: Homecoming, so naturally, this is the most important film on the list. Set in the immediate aftermath of Captain America: Civil War, Spider-Man: Homecoming sets up Peter Parker's world, introducing important school friends like Ned Leeds, MJ, and Flash Thompson. The surrogate father-son relationship between Spider-Man and Iron Man is a core part of the plot, and sets up everything that follows. Avengers: Infinity War. Peter may like to consider himself your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, but in Avengers: Infinity War, he became part of the biggest, most cosmic adventure in the history of the MCU. Spider-Man stumbled into a battle between Avengers and alien invaders who were pursuing the Infinity Stones, and had soon hitched a ride to the planet Titan. There, he faced a greater threat than any other big-screen version of Spider-Man: Thanos. In terms of Spider-Man's arc, this is fun viewing and a reminder of the scale on which the webhead unwillingly operates, but its most important is set up to Avengers: Endgame. Avengers: Endgame. There's a sense in which Spider-Man: Far From Home is essentially an epilogue to Avengers: Endgame, so it's no surprise to see this film on the list. As far as Spider-Man's concerned, he wakes up on Titan and the world has suddenly moved on 5 years. Returned to Earth, Peter gets caught up in an outright war between Earth's mightiest heroes and the armies of Thanos, a battle that ends with the death of Tony Stark. Peter is at Tony's side when he dies, watching in heartbreak and sorrow, and later he and Aunt May attend the funeral alongside the other Avengers. Avengers: Endgame is undoubtedly a defining film for the MCU's Spider-Man, not least because in the aftermath Peter Parker, a teenage superhero who never really imagined this kind of chaos, will most certainly have a lot of trauma to work through. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment and let me know what you think about this video.